Welcome back. Hey, have you entered the attic yet? If you've been following these videos, have you taken a look? Have you even looked at all of that information that's there? If not, you may want to take a look at that description. I put the link in the description so that you can check it out. And maybe you might want to do that before you finish watching this conversation. I don't know. It's up to you, right? So, life is all about choices. Today we're opening box 9 of 10. And this box is called The Key. Oh, if you've been following this series, you may remember something from my very first conversation titled The Box. I mentioned that sometimes we even lock the box before putting it away. Then, in the conversation about the lock, I held up this key and I said, every lock has a key. I also said, you're the only one who has the key. And today I'd like to tell you what I meant by that. Because I don't think the key is what most people imagine. Most people think finding the key is finding an answer, the right relationship, the right book, the right teacher, the right technique. But the key isn't about finding anything. The key is present awareness. Not because awareness solves the problem, but because awareness allows us to look at the box from somewhere other than the understanding that created the box. Think about why the box was created in the first place. It wasn't because there was something wrong with you. It wasn't because you were weak. It was because at that moment, you simply didn't have the capacity to deal with whatever life was asking from you. So, an emotional experience that was simply too much to process at the time became a box in the attic. You did the only thing that made sense with the understanding that you had. You protected yourself, you locked it away, and perhaps that was exactly what needed to happen at the time. I know in my case it was, but life didn't stop there. Learning continued, understanding deepened, life continued revealing itself. The attic isn't full of memories, it's full of unresolved energy. The memories aren't what's shaping your life. The energy attached to those memories is what is shaping your life. That's the echo. And because that energy was never fully processed, it remains in the box. Maybe years ago you found yourself in a painful relationship. You couldn't imagine leaving, but you couldn't imagine the rest of your life by staying. And because there didn't seem to be an answer, another box found its way into the attic. Because from where you stood, there was no key. But today, when you open that same box, you're no longer looking at it through the understanding that created it. You're looking from present awareness. And that changes everything. Not because memories change, not because the past changes, but because now it's being seen differently. I mean, there was a time when I could not even imagine sharing some of my stories, some of the experiences without having some kind of visceral reaction or an emotional reaction or an emotional meltdown because of it. But awareness makes everything different. When that old energy is finally met from present awareness, instead of the understanding that created it, something extraordinary happens. Not because awareness fixes anything, but because in present awareness, there's nothing to protect. Limited understanding created the box. Present awareness opens it. Perhaps that's why the key has always been not fixing the past, not erasing the memory, simply becoming willing to look, to open the box, to question the story. This week, simply notice if there's a box you've been avoiding. Not because you need to force it open, not because you have to fix it. Just notice whether you're willing to look. Perhaps that's why this conversation matters. Perhaps that's why all of these conversations matter. Because every time we're willing to look, we discover that we no longer have to live from the energy that created it. We can choose from present awareness instead. And when we do that, that's the opportunity for sovereignty. Breathe that in. Do you even feel that? Can you feel what it means to prioritize your own sovereignty? Oh my gosh, it's amazing. After all, life is an energy game. And once you understand how it's played, you can party like purple. In the meantime, this is Nancy Muller, the one and only Life Sensei, saying ciao for now.